What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Did you guys know that we had a trade over the weekend? Of course, it wasn't the most league-changing trade by any means, but you have the Pistons and the Wizards coming to an agreement on a trade where Bagley and Isaiah Livers and 2 second-round picks are heading to Washington in return for Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala. Now, you may be wondering, what is the point of this trade? Why are we doing a video on it? Well, basically, the point of it is that Detroit got off Bagley's contract, probably going to look to do even more by getting off maybe Bojan, maybe Monte Morris. They definitely have some contracts left that they could trade away to get off some salary. And they have a bunch of cap space this offseason. I know Detroit can't sign free agents, but of course, they can go ahead and maybe trade for someone and, convince them to stay or whatever it may be. But today, I still want to come on here and rebuild the Pistons again now that they're going to have a bunch of cap space, and that is their angle going into this offseason. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Of course, we're talking trade season right now, and we're doing a video of pretty much almost all the trades that are happening. I don't know if I can do a Wizard side of this because as cool as Bagley is, I'm not going to do a whole video on Bagley. The reason why we're doing this is because Detroit can actually maybe cook something up in the offseason. Now, Detroit is not a free agency destination, don't get me wrong. But if they're willing to overpay somebody and free agents, free agency isn't what it used to be, obviously, in the NBA. Guys don't leave. They usually just sign somewhere, then demand a trade later on. That's just kind of how it's been. The last major free agent that changed teams was like Jalen Brunson, it feels like. So, yeah, obviously free agency is not like what it used to be, but by no means is this like a, bad trade for the Pistons by getting off Bagley's contract. Of course, they are trading 2 seconds, trading Livers just to get some, expiring contracts, which sucks. But at the end of the day, Detroit, they're going to have some flexibility this offseason, and I guess that was their main goal. So, taking a look at this roster and what else left that we can do. Of course, you have Bojan Bogdanovic. I don't know what their plan is on him, but I would move him if I'm Detroit. If you can, I would definitely trade him to a contender that could use someone. I'm not sure if he's going to be like a starter anywhere else, but like definitely a 6-man. I think he'd be really good in that role for some team, but we'll figure it out. And then you got guys like Monte Morris, who I don't even think has played a game this season for the Pistons, so I don't really know how much his trade value would be, but I imagine there's still some team out there that'd be like, okay, we'll take a chance on Monte Morris. I don't even know when he's supposed to return. I have no clue. Has he even played a game this season? I'm pretty sure he hasn't. But other than that, we're probably going to go ahead and start this video off at the trade deadline. Bojan's having a pretty good season on 20 points per game, shooting 40% from 3. So yeah, I definitely think we can move him for at least maybe a protected first at the very least. A couple seconds, whatever it may be. So we're going to go ahead, stop at the deadline first, free up even more cap room this offseason, and overpay someone in free agency to come to Detroit. Because obviously, Detroit's not convinced free agents unless they're just overpaying them, like, guys like Jeremy Grant, Blake Griffin they traded for. But you get the point. I'll see you guys probably at the trade deadline. Today's video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop. The way PrizePicks works is you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. It's very simple. You basically click the over or the under in the projection that you see on the board. You can kind of look at all stats, all sports as well. They even have like cricket on here, which is insane. But you can go even at turnovers. If you think Zion's going to turn over the ball more than 2.5 times, you click over on the projection. Or if you don't think he's going to, click less than the projection. It's basically how it works. 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way to 6 players being 25 times your entry. I've been using PrizePicks since 2021. Love PrizePicks. Use code Crushables. Match first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 if you sign up for PrizePicks using my code in the link description below. And the way I use PrizePicks is DGF's optimizer and correlation tool. Absolutely love the tools that they've offered. Made me a much profitable sports bettor. But basically how it works is you look at discrepancies across sports books, and it gives you it right in front of you. So for instance, Stephon Diggs listed at 5 receptions today. Every single sports book has them at 5.5. Every single one. That way, and then you look at the discrepancy here. You're getting a discrepancy on PrizePicks. Click the over on that 5, because at the very least, you'll push. Most sports books are, going 5.5 on it. So that's basically how the optimizer tool works. As far as the correlation tool is concerned, this is my favorite one by far. Basically, you got sports like hockey, soccer, and the NFL on here because they're heavily correlated sports. But obviously, how the NFL works, if a guy is throwing for a lot of yards, then more than likely his receivers are benefiting off of that, which the quarterback obviously throwing for a lot of yards. So, for instance, the Steelers and Bills game today, Mason Rudolph, 16.5 completions, Josh Allen, 1.5 touchdowns. You got like Robinson, Knox, Deontay, Khalil Shakir all going over their receiving yards, because more than likely, if they're driving downfield where Josh Allen could throw a touchdown, then obviously he's throwing for some yards to get them there. Same thing with Rudolph. If he's throwing a lot, then more than likely his receiver is benefiting off that. So that's how correlation works. Definitely a lot of fun. Thank you guys to Prize Picks and DGF for sponsoring today's video. Both links are down in the description below. Let's get back to the rebuild. All right, so we're simply just going to flip Bojan Bogdanovic here for a first-round pick. I don't really care what we get in return. Obviously, I would love to have an expiring contract because it's kind of the point here. I want to have as much salary and free agency as possible to try to maybe convince a free agent to come here. So first and foremost, this would be perfect. We get to send Marcus Morris back to us. He comes to Detroit, which I believe he played in Detroit once upon a time. Am I wrong about that? Yeah, he did. So he can come back. And then first-round pick, with the swap involved at the Sixers, we're all in on Bojan. Definitely could make some sense, but I feel like the Sixers would be, looking for bigger fish in the sea. If we go look at the Bucks, that don't make a bunch of sense. The Bulls, the Clippers wanting to be Norm Powell in a second-round pick. I don't really want that salary, obviously, and if I'm going to take it, I definitely want a first if, for that scenario. Robinson, don't really want his salary either. Kevin Huerter, first-round pick. It's definitely interesting because I can see Kevin Huerter being like a really good fit next to Cade Cunningham going forward. But I don't know if I want to commit to Kevin Huerter, although not a terrible idea. Don't hate it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nice little shooter next to Cade Cunningham, but we got other guys. Evan Fournier, a first-round pick to the Knicks. Give us an expiring Evan Fournier. I think this is the winner right here. I'm not sure what the Knicks' plans will be, but getting Bojan off the bench for them could definitely be exactly what they need. They definitely need some more bench scoring, although Miles McBride's been pretty good for them lately. We're gonna go ahead and do this trade. So Knicks get more bench reinforcements. We take on Evan Fournier's expiring. Monte Morris is healthy now. I feel like it does make sense to move him. I think he'd be like a really good backup point guard or even starting point guard on a contender. Like the Timberwolves, for instance, they could maybe use him, although Conley is still solid if they wanted to go ahead and start him. But even off the bench, I don't hate it for. So the Bucks offer me a first-round pick. I don't know if Monte Morris is worth a first, especially since he hasn't played very much this year. But I can see getting a second-round pick for him at the very least. So Rashawn Holmes in a first. I want to see, to me, okay, the Rockets, that could make somewhat sense as well. We take on Jayshawn Tate. They get and then we get to decline his salary, which I think would be fine. The Thunder, too much salary for me to like, and the Nas Reed. I do feel like the Timberwolves are the best fit for Monte Morris. I'm just not really sure. I guess they would have to trade Kyle Anderson in this scenario. If they're willing to trade Kyle Anderson and give me a second, I would do this with them. Let's see what they say. They want Mike Muscala. They'll give me Shake Milton, who is only making $5 million. You know what? We'll do this. So we'll go ahead, get Shake Milton and a second-round pick. We send Mike Muscala to Minnesota. Monte Morris is going to be on that team. I think that's a great fit for him. And we have a veteran for the rest of the season in Slow-Mo. So I'll take it. I will see you guys at the end of the season. Of course, Cade, Jaden Ivey, Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren. Those guys are huge parts of this rebuild. Wiseman, we probably won't resign. Sasser, same thing. Huge part. Isaiah Stewart, same thing. But we are definitely going to be able to pay some free agent this offseason a bunch of money, which is what we plan on doing. At the end of the season, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. Sixth man goes to Russell Westbrook. Wembanyama, All-Defensive Player of the Year. Most Improved goes to Kobe White. LeBron James, Clutch Player of the Year. And Coach of the Year goes to Joe Mazzulla. So let's get into this offseason. Or, yeah, let's just get straight into the offseason. Let's see who wins the championship. Of course, lottery is going to be the first step for us. Whoever we get in the draft lottery is going to be huge. So we got the Boston. Okay, so we got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Suns. And the Suns go on to beat them in 5 games. Okay, retirements. Horford's retiring. That's about it. So let's go to draft lottery. Of course, this is going to be a huge first step for us. We should have like the worst odds here. The Knicks have our pick, but our pick is protected. Spurs are up there as well. Let's see what happens. And we are going to get number 3. So we take the 3rd overall pick. Still pretty ecstatic about that. Definitely will be useful, obviously, going forward. Monty Williams. Steven will go ahead and leave those the way they are. I'll see you guys on draft night with what the plan will be using that 3rd overall pick. Obviously, probably just going to draft with it, but then in free agency, we can go sign someone. So, know what I'm looking to move here before we get into draft night? I think we're chilling with what we have. I thought there would maybe be some money. We could move Isaiah Stewart to free up even more money, but I don't think that would be necessary. So, let's just jump into the draft and see who we're getting. So, number 1, Isaiah Collier going to the Spurs. Number 2 is going to be Alex Sarr. Number 3, I think we got to go ahead and potentially take Nikola Toppin here. Not someone I, draft very often anyway, so I think this would be the right move. So we are going to go ahead and draft Nikola Toppin, All-NBA, ceiling and floor is Lou Williams. So welcome to Detroit, Nikola Toppin, Serbia, point guard or forward, whatever we decided to do with him. And then we got a early 2nd round pick. We have Cody Williams or Mark Mitchell. I'm going to take Cody Williams with this pick. And I think we had another 2nd round pick that we could go ahead and use. And that's going to be Trey Alexander, or we can take Mikey Williams. I think I'll go ahead and take Mikey Williams, and that will be our draft. So just like that, feel pretty solid about what we were able to get. We get a 79 overall point guard at the top of the draft, and then we got Cody Williams and Mikey Williams. So 2 Williams, we'll sign both of them. Player options, Evan Fournier, of course, we are going to decline. We have Jalen Duren, Ivy, Qualifying offers, James Wiseman, Killian Hayes. I don't plan on signing either of them back, to be honest with you. I'm cool with just moving on from both of them. And then free agency, of course, this is where it is our time to shine. So what free agent can we possibly go overpay to make sure they come to Detroit? Now, for me, I think the forward spots is where we should be targeting. I want to start Jalen Duren going forward. Isaiah Stewart, as cool as he is, I think him off the bench doesn't hurt us. Asar, off the bench, I don't hate it either. We'll see, but it depends who we get. So let's go through the options. Of course, we can go out there, we could throw some money at LeBron James, and he can come to Detroit, and that would be awesome. I just don't see that happening. Paul George, same thing. I think with Kawhi resigning, Paul George will most likely do the same. Maxey, he's going back to Philly. Philly would match anything that's offered to him anyway. Harden, no thanks. Siakam, I know Detroit has been very interested in him. I just don't feel like Siakam is the kind of guy that would go sign in Detroit. I really don't. But we may come back to it if there's no other option. We'll see. Claxton, I don't know what's going to happen with Claxton. I feel like Brooklyn's going to try to keep him, but the Magic are offering him. We have Jalen Duren anyway already. So Tobias Harris, that is somebody I could see Detroit possibly trying to sign. Jonas Valanciunas, Malik Monk. But to me, guys, I think the guy that makes the most sense and that would sign somewhere that's offering him a lot of money would be, in fact, Miles Bridges. I really do. And obviously, Miles Bridges fumbled a bag a couple years ago or a year ago, whatever it was now. Of course, we all know what happened, but he was about to get an absolute bag until the things popped out of what was going on behind the scenes in his life. And then since then, obviously, he's played on the qualifying offer in Charlotte. And now he'll be a free agent this offseason where there's no expectations he'll be back. And I just feel like a team like Detroit would definitely be willing to throw him a bunch of money. I could see it happening. I don't know. For some reason, it just makes a bunch of sense to me. And he's easily the free agent I think we should go after anyway. So I think I am going to go ahead and throw a bag at Miles Bridges because obviously we can go get Siakam. But Miles Bridges fits our timeline just a little bit better. I don't get him that often anyway. He just come off season average 16.5 points per game. So we are going to go ahead and throw Miles Bridges a bag. Don't know what kind of bag it would be, but let's say Detroit offered him like $25 million per year. I definitely could see something like that happening. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Obviously got to overpay a little bit, us being the Pistons. He's from the Michigan area, I believe, or I could be wrong about that. I know he went to Michigan State, obviously, but we're going to go ahead and sign Miles Bridges to be the guy, our big addition in free agency. So James Wiseman is getting an offer from the Magic. I am going to go ahead and decline it. He can go ahead and sign there. So James Wiseman obviously has not really worked out in the league very much, but we still have money to sign someone else if we wanted to as well. So we're not done yet. We can still cook up some more trade or some more signings. So we have Miles Bridges, Isaiah Stewart. Do need a better backup five, a better small forward. I think we're good at the guard spot. I think all I'm going to do is probably move Nikola Top into the 2. He even goes up, but he's 6'6", so he's capable of doing it. Secondary position will still be point guard, but he'll be the secondary, or he'll be a backup guard with Sasser, and he may even start over Ivy. We'll see. He's got A+ 3-point shooting, so maybe it'd be the better fit anyway. We'll see. But yeah, I think we basically need to sign a forward and a big man, which should be good. How much money do we have left? We actually still have quite a bit of money, so we could sign Paul George. We need a small forward, which again, I can see Detroit. Even Bruce Brown, bringing Bruce Brown back to Detroit, I don't think is out of the realm of possibility. He used to play here, of course. If this team is looking for someone like a Bruce Brown, who honestly would almost be the perfect mentor to Asar Thompson in a way, I don't hate it. I think we're going to go ahead and offer Bruce Brown some money. He obviously just got a bag from Indiana, but we're going to go ahead and offer him another bag here from Detroit. And we'll go $20 million. We really will. We'll overpay Bruce Brown. That's what he got from Pacers. I wouldn't commit to him like that long term, but I'm going to go 3-year deal on Bruce Brown. And then last but certainly not least is a backup 5. We can bring back Andre Drummond, which I'm not going to do. Isaiah Hardenstein, Christian Wood, or even Go Badaste, who's been pretty solid in Orlando. Larry Nance, Mobamba, Achua's out there. Isaiah Hardenstein definitely looks intriguing to me. He's got the Rockets offering him a 2-year deal, but we're going to swoop in and try to offer him a bag to be our backup 5, and that will be what we do. So we're going to sign, hopefully, Bruce Brown as well, and we're going to get Bruce Brown and Isaiah Hardenstein. Honestly, to me, been the perfect offseason. Very perfect offseason. We get guys that come in and help us exactly what we wanted to accomplish. So I'm going to go ahead. I guess I could throw Nikola Top into the 3. He would go up even more, but I'm going to move Bruce Brown there. He's only 6'4", but he's definitely capable of playing that position. So Bruce Brown is going to be our small forward. We got Nikola Top and Ivy, Kate Cunningham, Sasser. So I like it. I think we've used our money wisely. We have a really interesting team in Detroit now. We're bringing some vets that aren't like too old, but like just right to help us be better. We're going to be more of a competitive roster. We've used our cap space very wisely, in my opinion. So, feeling very good about our offseason. Malcolm, welcome. We got Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Asar Thompson going up, Jaden Ivey going up, Miles Bridges going up, Bruce Brown up, Cole Toppin up, Sasser up. This is all really beautiful. This is beautiful stuff. So, I'm feeling very solid about what we were able to accomplish this offseason. I think we have a full rotation that's about to be ready to go make the playoffs this year. I really do. I mean, Detroit's loved in 2K anyway, but us adding these guys that could easily help us out, I have a good feeling about this. I think we're going to be a lot better than I even expect. So we'll see how this goes. But cap space Pistons, man. I think Miles Bridges is a Piston. I don't know what, for whatever reason, I just see it coming soon. I don't know. Am I wrong to think that? Who agrees with me? But we'll see. All right, so here's going to be a rotation. They still want to start Asar Thompson, which I'm not opposed to it. They want to start Ivy, Asar, Miles Bridges, Jalen Duren. Don't hate it. Bruce Brown off the bench, Nicole Toppin, Sasser, and Isaiah Hartenstein and Isaiah Stewart. So got the Isaiahs off the bench, which is great. And our bench is looking really good. I actually like it a lot. So proficiencies for our 4-star. We're going to go ahead and simulate year number 2. Now that we've used our cap space wisely, let's see if this Pistons team can cook this season and maybe go make the playoffs. So at the end of the season, we finished up as the 5th seed in the East, which was the first goal. Let's be respectable. Let's make the playoffs, and we've done just that. Jokic is going to win MVP. Castle Rookie of the Year. Kevin Porter Jr. 6th man. Victor Wembanyama Non-Offensive Player. Trace Jackson, Most Improved and Clutch Player goes the year to John Morant. And here's Coach of the Year and Executive. So, All-NBA First Team. I don't know if we'll have any Pistons representatives, but we do not. All Defensive First Team. All Defensive Second Team. How about rookies? Do we get, yeah, Nicole Toppin makes it, which is great. Average 18.5 points per game. Wow. That's pretty insane, actually. I don't know if he started, but I think he was coming off the bench the whole season, right? And he came in average 18.5. Yeah, we'll take that for sure. So, Nicole Toppin, what an absolute beautiful season from him. So, yeah, this team is pretty damn good. It's really good. So, we are actually going to shrink our bench utilization down a little bit. And we're going to run a 9-man rotation in these playoffs and see if that will help us go far. We'll see. So, Stewart gets kicked out of the rotation, which is unfortunate, but I'd rather run a 9-man rotation in the playoffs. So get the Pacers in round 1. 2 teams that are on the come up, or not necessarily in real life. Obviously, Detroit is not on the come up right now, but Indiana on the other side is. So Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Mathurin, Obi Toppin, Miles Turner, Aaron Nesmith. I don't think it's impossible for us to beat this team. Our overalls are way better than theirs across the board, but of course they do have Halliburton. We have Cade though, so maybe that cancels it out. We'll see. Somebody come around against Indiana, and we are going to even it up. So we were looking like we were going to get swept for a second. But we won 2 straight. Can we make it 3 straight to go up 3-2 on the Pistons and get some more excitement in Detroit? Because obviously, if you're a football fan, the Detroit Lions, they won their first playoff game last night in years or whatever it was. Shout out to Detroit, man. What a win for them last night. But Pistons, if you guys could turn around, then there'd be a bunch of excitement in Detroit. So let's see if we can come out here and win this one to force a game 7. We barely forced a game 7, but hey, barely still counts. And now we get to go to a game 7 in Indiana. Can we come out here and win it, though, outright to get to the second round to give the Detroit fans more excited than they already are? Can we do it? And we are going to be in a very close one. If we hold on, we're moving on, but we're down 4 with 2 minutes left. We got to score quickly, and it looks like we may be going home potentially. And yes, we are. So the Pistons or the Pacers knock us out, but still an intriguing sign that, hey, we just went from being one of the worst teams in the league to making the playoffs and almost getting to round 2. So not too upset with the results there. I think we're definitely on the right, paths, which is great. So draft lottery, our pick is, of course, going somewhere else now. It has some protections on it with us making the playoffs. It is traveling to, I actually don't know where it went, but I'm pretty sure we don't have our pick. It goes to the Knicks at 18. So staff signing. We have Monty Williams still here, which, of course, begs the question, will they fire him in real life? I have no idea. I feel like they gave him so much money. I don't even know if that's going to be an option. Hey, if Will Hardy wants to become our assistant, or Billy Donovan, let's get Billy Donovan. I think Billy Donovan being an assistant is way more realistic than Will Hardy would be. Although, Will Hardy's been a pretty solid coach for Utah. So I think we're going to go ahead and just hire this. I don't know if we'll do too much this offseason. We just have so many guys that are going to develop and be really good that I think we could just sit here and watch what happens, really. We're going to accept Mikey Williams. We're not going to let anybody go. Qualifying offers, Cade Cunningham. Of course, we got to pay him a bag. We can't just let him go. So Tatum, we have enough money for Tatum. We're almost there, but of course, we're going to pay Cade. So we're going to pay Cade Cunningham his money. We're not going to allow someone to come out here and offer money. Let's just get that done. So Cade, welcome to Detroit, or welcome back anyway. And I don't know if we need to do anything else. We have Sasser. We have Ivy, Nicole Toppin. We have Sar, Bruce Brown. We have Isaiah Stewart. We have Isaiah Hardenstein. So don't think I'll do anything else. Let's just go look at player progression and let's see what it looks like. I have a good feeling that Cade, Ivy, like all these guys, Nicole Toppin, they're going to go up like crazy, I would assume. So you got Asar up to an 85, Durant up to an 85, Cade 89, 84 Nicole Toppin, up 4 overall, Ivy 82. And this team is cooking. Like, and even Cody Williams is up to 74. I didn't even send him to the G League, which I should have. Miles Bridges, Bruce Brown stay the same. They're, kind of entering their primes in a way. Miles Bridges, did I even look at the stats last year? Or am I tripping? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. We had 24 from Cade Cunningham, 18.5 from Nicole Toppin, 14 Miles Bridges, 11, 11, 11, and 10. So, really solid season from the guys. Obviously, year number 3, I would love to make another jump. Let's go to round 2, maybe the conference finals. Let's take another step in the right direction. Let's not go backwards. Let's go forward. So, making the playoffs was the first step, which is great. But now it's time to go win a series. Like, that is the next step here. If we can go even further than that, take, 2 huge steps, let's do it. Because this team, I feel like, is ready to do so. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Pirates going to let us 8th overall. We're a 4-star pace and space. Don't wonder if it could be 4.5 somewhere, but we cannot, which is unfortunate. But they do want to start Nicole Toppin, which, with how good he was last year, to me, it does make a bunch of sense. So we're going to run an 9-man rotation. It does feel bad having Isaiah Stewart out of the rotation because I guess Isaiah Hardenstein out of rotation in this scenario. But it's fine. We'll figure it out. I think we do run a 10-man rotation this year still. I mean, I want to play them all. So we'll run a 10-man rotation. I'll show you guys the end of year 3. And hopefully this is the year that we can go make some sparks in the playoffs. So year number 3 goes quite well. Monty Williams wins Coach of the Year as we're 57-25. So the turnaround is here, which is what we wanted to see. No All-NBA team for Cade Cunningham, though, which sucks. But, I mean, I think it's a collective effort across our group at the moment. So first seed in the East. I mean, all we really want to do is go to the playoffs and compete, which is what we want. And we want to try to go win a championship this year. So here we go. Round 1, Miami. Yeah, Drew Holiday, Kyrie Irving, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. So no Jimmy Butler anymore, but they have Kyrie Irving and Drew Holiday, which is interesting. And Jaime Jaquez up to an 86 overall. Shout out to Jaime Jaquez. But once again, we're going to go 9-man rotation here for these playoffs. I would love to get out round 1. So let's go ahead and simply come around against Miami. And they're going to beat us in the first game. They do push us to 6, but we ultimately beat them. And now get the Sixers in round 2. We have Maxey and Joel Embiid still. They got Brogdon now. Derek Jones Jr., got Tyler Smith, Kobe Walter. So still a pretty solid team in Philadelphia that we're dealing with, but let's see if we can beat them. Game 1, 1-0. Game 2, 2-0. So far, so good. 3-0, and we are going to sweep the Sixers, which is a great sign, and we're already in the Eastern Conference Finals. We don't have to deal with the Pacers, who beat us last year. We get the Hawks instead. So obviously the Hawks are, sometimes just OP in 2K, but look at this team. They have no Capella. I think that helps us out a lot, which I know Capella is not like the scariest player in the world by any means, but in 2K, he is a stud. So we'll see how this goes. Warriors and Thunder on the other side. Game 1, 1-0. Beat them by 17. 40 from Cade Cunningham. 26 from Toppin. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 2-2. So we're definitely not getting out of the series from Atlanta by, just beating them easily. Atlanta is one of those teams that, for whatever reason, they're just hard to beat sometimes. They're just like the Cavaliers sometimes. And then other times they're easy to beat. So I don't know. It's weird. But can we? No, we cannot. We lose by 2 in that one. And it looks like Atlanta might be the team sending us home here unless we force a Game 7 back to Detroit, which Atlanta takes the lead. We got to take the lead back. We want any chance. And we are going to be a very fiery, competitive game. We had the lead for a second. Do we take it back here? We tie it up. We tie it up. And we tie it again. We're going to OT. And just kidding. They score a last bucket on us, I think. So, hey, we took another step. Eastern Conference Finals. But next year, final season, we got to make sure. And then Atlanta goes on with the championship. I don't get why the Hawks are so good sometimes, but 2K loves them at times. So, again, not going to be doing too much this offseason. I'm ready to just run it back again. We have the 28th overall pick, but this team is only going to get better and better. We have everybody locked up still. Our timeline is still right there for the taking. Get to the East Conference Finals. Next year, the goal is go win a championship. That's the next goal. Another successful regular season, but it does not matter if we're not coming out here and winning a championship. 64-18 on this season. What an absolute great season. But again, all that matters is winning a championship. So 23 points from Cade, 21 from Nicole Toppin, 6.5 from Ivy, 14 from Duran, 13.5 from Miles Bridges, 12, and then 10.5. So here goes nothing. Let's also, I don't think I did this. Oh, no, we're still 9-man rotation. So Here we go. 9 rotation. Get the Knicks in round 1. They have De'Aaron Fox, Ojeanobi. They have a solid team. But obviously, I'm looking to get out round 1, getting to round 2. And we may not do that. We may go home in the first round to the Knicks. So let's see if we can come out here and win 2 straight to make sure we don't do this. Because we might choke. And I'm going to be very, very mad if we do. And we are going to win this one. So we're going to force things back to Detroit at the very least. All right. Game 7 in Detroit. Please do not choke this away. Do not get beaten round 1. That's all I'm asking right now. All right, so it looks good right now, as long as we hold the lead, which we're going to. So we do beat them and got round 1. W. A little nervous there for a second, but now we get the Charlotte Hornets, who have LaMelo, Giddey, Brandon Miller, Sadiq Bey, Ade Mara, Jalen Suggs, Clint Capella, Terry Rozier, and Kevin Porter Jr. Pretty solid team in Charlotte. Let's go ahead and select current round, and we are going to... All right, guys, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.